8-man tag team match. There you see left and to the right. A lot of questions surrounding Dark State. Saquon trying to get everyone on the same page. I don't know how Tony D'Angelo and crew are going to get on the same page. And D'Angelo going to run after Dion Lennox.
Here we go, top dog. So let's get this thing started.
And I think Saquon wanted to start this match, but Dion saw Tony D coming in and went on the attack. And now that is exactly what Dark State is doing. And let's not forget, this night started with Tony D'Angelo coming out here for the first time as the NXT champion. Didn't get to celebrate, was interrupted by Joe Hendry, by Ethan Page, by Ricky Saints, and then everybody from Dark State came out of nowhere, and chaos kicked us off here tonight.
I'll tell you something, not getting a celebration for Tony D could have been the best thing for him. Not getting comfortable, Vic, not losing that motivation, if you understand what I'm saying. Stay on the gas, son. Understand what you are. You're the champ now.
Let's take a look at Dark State as Saquon in this matchup tagging in. Here comes Cutler James. Has Dark State missed Cutler James? Because James was literally taken out by D'Angelo at Vengeance Day. And before we go any farther, a reminder that we will hear from our new NXT champion, women's champion, Lola Vice, for the first time ever here tonight. And from one champion to another, there's Tony D'Angelo taking control.
Oh, he's rocking right now. Look, like I said, look at the body of Tony D. You can tell he's been working really hard to get back in this position right here, and now he's the NXT champion. How long can he keep that championship? That's the question of tonight, Vic. How long will he keep that championship?
I think Tony was reaching out to tag in Joe Hendry and Ethan Page, just like he does to the smiles of the NXT Universe, steals the tag to make himself legal in this matchup.
On his job, Vic. I mean, he's a partner. You know, he's on the team. I mean, what do you want him to do? Stay out on the apron and do nothing?
I think that they were trying to work something between D'Angelo and Joe
Not about
Hendry.
that. I mean, whoever get the textbook tag first, that's who gets in the ring.
Well, Saquon is the illegal man, and he might pay for it right now. Big suplex by Page, floating into the cover, hook of the leg, and a kick out. And I'll ask you this, how difficult is it to team with somebody that you don't necessarily trust?
You know, I didn't like it, but it's a great way to, download that intel, knowing the bad habits, because you're gonna be seen later. Oh yeah.
Well, the official made the call, Gary Wilson, that a tag was made. Saints is legal. Saints is rolled up. Saints able to kick out.
I like this referee, right? Give him an upgrade, something like that.
It's a video game. You're going to go change his attribute?
I'm just saying that, but he just...
WWE 2K26.
Look, he got his eye on the ball. His eyes on the prize. That's all I'm saying, man.
Oh, Ethan Page didn't even want to help out his partner as Saints just got tossed by James, and then gets tossed right back into the Dark State
corner. That's what I'm talking about, Big. You get a chance to download information. You're not really out there to help if you don't have to. But if we can get a win, we know we get a bigger paycheck at the end of the night. That's all this is about.
Well, Saints getting out, tagging in Joe Hendry, and now the former NXT champion in this match, going right at Dion Lennox. Lennox now with a nice counter in his own right, coming right back in on Hendry. Hendry with a standing reverse, and he now charges in, does Hendry, and takes Lennox off his feet.
Big shoulder tackle there by Joe Hendry.
And Hendry's trying to show his own power. Lennox up over, tag was made, and I asked you this earlier, has Dark State missed Cutler James? Has he been the glue, so to speak?
I wouldn't necessarily say he's been the glue or anything like that, but he's definitely been a huge part of this team. And losing somebody like Cutler James is going to affect the team like the Dark State. Trust me on that, Vic. Look at the muscle. Look at the strength of Joe Hendry with these, man.
The NXT Universe counting along, big, standing, delayed, vertical suplex, only gets a 2. And Hendry wisely getting between Cutler and the rest of Dark State. But you can hear the NXT Universe right now, still chanting they believe as Saints tags in.
Of course they believe. They believe in Joe Hendry. Perhaps should be champion still, but he's not. But my thing is, if you're not the champ, you're going to be around the champ. That's what. Look at Joe Hendry.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up because of D'Angelo's 3 partners. Who do you believe has a track to a future NXT championship match?
I mean, that's very, very simple. I mean, Joe Hendry, he has a rematch clause in full effect. All he has to do is execute it. I think that's what he was getting to earlier before everything just broke down. That's what I think.
It certainly did break down in a very unique way. It just dropped it face first, goes Cutler. I did. And a kick out.
That was nice there by Ricky Saints.
I want to go back to earlier tonight because this is one of the decisions you actually liked from our general manager, Rob Stone.
No, I mean, Rob Stone definitely didn't see that. That was not a textbook tag right there, but here comes the can man.
This is just an interesting dynamic between these two.
I mean, it is.
And arguing, Cutler thought he saw an opening, certainly did not.
It's one of those things, I can hit my brother, but you can't. That's what that was right there, Vic.
All of a sudden, they seem to be on the same page, and there goes Big Osiris, wiping out both. And Page is the legal man for his team, and he just got scooped up. Tag was made. Saquon now the legal superstar.
Here comes the Sugar Man. The Sugar Man said, let me get a piece of this act.
Oh! Well, the Sugar Man got caught by the Can Man, and now in comes Dion.
Yeah, Lennox. I call this guy right here the quarterback. This guy's a hell of a quarterback on this Dog State team. I think he's talking about the glue that's keeping everything together. That's Dion Lennox.
Well, Tony D'Angelo made the tag, and Ethan Page seemed to be a little bit reluctant to reach out and tag.
No.
As Tony just muscled up Saquon. And now Tony charging in, big shot right underneath the jaw of Dion Lennox. Let's not forget Tony D'Angelo has a gripe, had a vendetta with Dark State. That was phase one for Tony D when he returned here to NXT. He accomplished that in grand fashion at Vengeance Day. And he, just got caught though with a spine buster. Dark State is just taken over in this 8-man tag team match. Former NXT champion Joe Hendry fighting back in this matchup, but he's getting chopped down again by Saquon Sugars.
The Sugar Man
reaches out, and in comes Osiris. Dark State showcasing their will, but Joe Hendry right now taking out two men, at least for this moment. The door has opened for the tag. Let's go back to some of the action. This was a huge spine buster for Tony D'Angelo in the match, but it really doesn't mean much right now because it's Joe Hendry trying to make a tag. Tony being called over, distracted for a moment. Page and Saints didn't want to tag. This is what I was talking about. Page and Saints wanted no part, leaving Joe Hendry out to dry for Dark State. Cover, count, then Hendry's still able to kick out. Tony was looking at Dion Lennox as Lennox was crawling, trying to sneak over there. He cut him off with the pass, but where was Ethan? Where was Ricky? Why didn't anyone make a tag for Joe?
Did you actually think that team was going to actually work out at the end of the
You just said 5 minutes ago they were. You were questioning me for questioning Ethan. Now I'm questioning you.
I just said Ethan Page is willing to go out there and do a job because he knows it's a check at the end of the day. These other guys may not care about that. Have you ever thought about that, Nick? Have you thought about that for 1 second?
Did you not just see Ethan Page step back and not want to make the tag?
Yes.
Exactly what you just did.
I did.
So what are you talking about checks for? You always tell me it's to the pay window. If you lose, you don't get the money.
I said earlier that's what I was thinking. You may not be thinking that right now. Okay.
Well, Joe Hendry, worse for wear at this juncture, far away from his team, and Cutler James back in action, into the cover, hook the leg, and you know for Cutler, he's been waiting to get back, waiting to get his hands on anyone.
Cutler James is a hell of an athlete. I mean, look at the guy, man. He's got a hell of a body, he's got a hell of a look, and he's definitely on a team that can make some major prime-time moves here in NXT.
Well, do you see Saquon's point that Dion has become a little bit too vocal, that it was 4 men on one mission, but Lennox went rogue at Stand and Deliver?
Look here, and it's called going into business for yourself. And I understand the Sugar Man, but you got to understand Dion Lennox. He gave up a tag team championship to go out there and try to bring singles gold to Dark State. To me, that's called stepping up, dog. That's what that's called.
And the title he was looking for is currently around the waist of Tony D'Angelo. It was around the waist of Joe Hendry, but take a look at that offense from Cutler James as Osiris now squashing Hendry. And finally breaking things up with Saints and Page. Well, maybe they're back to
see what I'm saying?
See
what I'm saying? You got to know when to pick your shots, Vic. You got to know when to strike.
Well, now Gary Wilson's got his hands full. And that was a cheap shot from Dion.
What are you talking about?
Right to the face of Hendry. And hey! Oh, that's Miles Bourne, the North American champion. Miles Bourne was attacked after his victory over Johnny Gargano by Dion Lennox in a steel chair. Bourne coming back to get a little payback, to get a little receipt. Dark State looking away. Joe Hendry starting to crawl. And the number's not in the favor of Dark State anymore. Reaching out, whoa. D'Angelo, he wants into the match. He pulls everyone down to the NXT champion who didn't get to celebrate earlier. The first ever Grand Slam champion in NXT history is in this match and is hitting everything. Cutler with a moment trying to save, and whoa! James goes for the ride. Osiris gonna get him some too.
Grand Slam champ, you might as well call it the cleanup man right now, baby. Here we go.
You got a can man, you got a sugar man, you got a cleanup man. That was the forget about it. Center of the ring.
Oh, my
Dark
God.
State saving the match. Whew. And now, whoa, Saints!
Saints back in the game. Saints back in the game.
That
Oh,
first don't
Saints back in the
succeed.
game.
Try and try again. And Paige with a little assist from Saints. Stand and deliver main event right now. Looking good. Able to work as a team. There's Cutler to Paige.
Oh, wow.
What a
James.
What a gut buster. And now James wiped out. But remember, Dion Lennox was chased off earlier by Miles Bourne as Joe Hendry flying through the air. Well, wiped out Saints and also wiped out Dark State. As now we see, we're looking for that spear, I think, for a moment.
Sugar Man.
Was D'Angelo. Caught him! Big spear from the NXT champion, who now has Saquon dead to rights. But a tag was made. Paige just hit D'Angelo.
That's business, Vic. That's all business right there, dog.
Paige with a twisted grin. And Paige pins Saquon.
Here are your winners, a team of Ricky Saints, Tony D'Angelo, Joe Hendry, and Ethan Page.
Paige stole the tag to steal the match for himself, not for his team, and he's gonna have some explaining to do to the NXT champion, who now has Paige dead to rights. And I got a little news flash for Ethan Page. When it comes to targeting someone, Tony is no stranger to having a bullseye squarely on his back.